Looking at a resume feels a lot like looking at a blueprint for a machine. It's just a list of functions, a list of ways to be useful to someone else's bottom line. There's no room in there for a person, and it seems like that's the goal now. Being a specialist has become the only acceptable way to exist. There's this unbroken pressure to pick a niche and stay there until it's over. Anything outside of that, any interest that doesn't contribute to the title, gets treated like a distraction. It's weird how the world works now. Meeting someone new usually leads to the same question: what do you do? And if the answer doesn't fit into a neat one sentence box, the conversation just dies. So the pruning starts. People cut away the hobbies, the weird curiosity, the useless knowledge, all to fit the mold of being a professional. But the result is just dull. Everyone is becoming a one dimensional character in a world that's actually getting more complex. Depth has been redefined as staring at one grain of sand and ignoring the rest of the beach. But there is a cost to that. By becoming a tool that does only one job, you lose the ability to see how everything else connects. And maybe those connections were the most important part to begin with. There's a hierarchy in this world that nobody talks about. At the bottom, you have the experts. These are the people who spend 20 years learning how to do one specific thing perfectly. They are the bricks, high quality, reliable, sturdy, but they're just bricks. They don't decide what the building looks like, they just sit where they're placed. The people at the top, they aren't the best at any one thing. They're good enough at 10 different things. They speak just enough code to talk to engineers. They know just enough design to understand the aesthetics. They understand enough psychology to know what people actually want. They are the architects. While the specialist is busy perfecting a single bolt, the architect is the one building the entire machine. It's a massive ego trap. We're taught to take pride in our niche. We're told that being a jack of all trades means being master of none. But being a master of one is a dead sentence. Mastery of one thing makes you a tool. Mastery of the connections between things make you the hand that holds the tool. Think about the most influential people in any field. They're usually glitches in the system. They didn't win by being the best coder, they won by being the coder who understood storytelling. They didn't win by being the best artist, they won by being the artist who understood the market. The specialist is waiting for instructions, the journalist is the one giving them. Which one sounds more like freedom? The reason the specialist is a dying breed is simple. Anything that can be defined by a single set of rules can be automated. If your entire value is based on knowledge, one language, or one software, or one specific process, you're already on a countdown. An AI doesn't get tired, it doesn't have off days, it can specialize better than you ever will. But there's only one thing a machine can't do: it can't vibe. It can't take a lesson from a 19th century novel and use it to solve a modern UI problem. It can't combine the grit of a 12-hour gaming session with the logic of a financial spreadsheet. That's called skill stacking, and it's the only way to stay relevant. The experts are terrified right now. They're watching as the niche they spent a decade building becomes a single prompt. They are realizing that their depth was actually just a narrow tunnel, but the person who kept those weird, useless hobbies, they're the only ones who can still see the horizon. Every hobby, every strange interest, every bit of random information you picked up, it's all fuel. The more diverse your fuel, the more unique your output. You don't need to be the best at one thing. You need to be the only person who can do these four things at the same time. That's how you become a glitch that the machine can't replicate. It's not enough to just know different things. An idiot can read 10 Wikipedia pages and call themselves a journalist. The real power comes from synthesis. It's the ability to take the knowledge of one word and leak it into another. Think about how a musician understands rhythm. Now, imagine applying that same sense of flow to a piece of code, or a business negotiation, or even the way you move in a game. When you stop seeing subjects and start seeing pattern, the world opens up. The architect doesn't see wood, glass, and steel as separate things. They see them as variable in a single equation. Most people have these closed brains. They keep their hobbies in one drawer and their work in another. They never let them touch. But the most dangerous people, the ones who actually change things, are the ones who let the drawers overflow. They use the discipline of a marathon runner to finish a creative project. They use the strategy of a grandmaster to navigate a social hierarchy. They are stacking perspectives until they see a version of reality that the specialist can't even imagine. Synthesis is the only skill that doesn't have a ceiling. The window for being just an expert is closing. You can feel it, can't you? The world is getting faster and the boxes are getting smaller. If you stay in your lane, you are essentially waiting for the road to end. Don't let them convince you that being unfocused is a weakness. It's your only defense against a system that wants you to turn you into a predictable data point. Mastery of one thing makes you a tool. Mastery of the connection between things makes you the architect. The specialists are busy perfecting their niche while the water is rising. They think they are safe because they are the best at what they do, but the best doesn't matter when the job itself disappears. Don't be the last one left in the box. Most people will keep decorating their cages until the door is locked from the outside. Don't be most people. The machine is already full. Find the exit.